shoulder injury, kind of carving out some minutes.
It's great that he's back.
Yeah.
Dislocated that shoulder in mid-February. Tried to give it a go in the ACC tournament. Had to leave that game as well. Sears pull up mid-range, and Duke is going to be just fine. Watch. Flag gets a step. Oh! Grant Nelson meets him at the apex. What a block. Three-pointer good. Sears
able to get 2 feet closer to paint too easy early for Vanderbilt.
Nag again gets up the shot. 0 for 2 to start it. These two teams want to fly. High-scoring teams. Ken Palm and the offensive efficiency ratings. These are two top 15 teams. BYU 14th in the nation. Alabama number 1. 8 points per game. As Saunders, that little push shot is good. BYU averaging just over 81 points per game this year. That was 26th in the country. Sears. Demon, little turnaround, not there. And Marcus Sears on the run. Sears sets up Diabate. Both of these teams with big rotations. They both go deep. And Sears rattles in another. Sears in the backcourt for Alabama. Furious start here. Both teams shooting it well. BYU 9 of 15. They've got 5 assists on their 9 makes. Meanwhile, Alabama 8 of 12. And with 6 assists, and that one is down. And this massive playbook of calls that Kevin Young can go to, and the way BYU executes.
Special situations right there. Good contest, but a better shooter.
Got a big man on his hip. Now he finds Holloway. Three-pointer, no good. And an offensive rebound once again for Alabama. BYU had secured the last 2, and Sears makes them pay.
This game.
Youngblood for 3. Missed it. And it's going to be another offensive rebound. Sets up Sears. Sears again makes them. Is 21. Loyola Marymount. The Paul Westhead led Loyola Marymount. Turnover. Holloway behind the back. Sears for 3. Another one's good. Mark Sears knocks it in. He's got 18 points and 5 boards as we send it over to Allie.
Well, Brian Ferricci, when he was 8 years old, he told his dad, I'm playing for BYU. So him and his dad, they got up at 6 in the morning. They went to the church gym, and his grandfather would take him to BYU games. He lived and died by BYU basketball. I said, growing up, this is what I dreamed of. I mean, Tyler House was his idol. He said, I looked up to him. I had posters in my bedroom. So he is living the dream. I know he'd like the result to be a little different, but this is what it's all about.
And an answer for a three-pointer on the other end by Saunders. So Alabama is a 3-point make away from the NCAA tournament record. Sears has it tied. This is for the record for himself.
So they are human. I mean, it seemed like everything was going in, and now you got a chance to get it back.
Sears leaves it up top. Morey saves it, gets it back. Sears, number 10.
Here's Morauskas off balance with a little hook shot. Saxon, all that length. But Alabama is able to control.
Look at the balance, though, with the transition. Look at all the red jerseys.
Here comes Sears. So crafty. Underneath. Saxon to Wessels.
These guys haven't met one another yesterday. That was perfectly executed. 3 guys involved with it.
Look at Sears, just relentless to the...
But they've had troubles. If you look at these last 4 games, 9 for 63, that adds up to.
So that 0 of 16 against Gonzaga. That was the final, the championship game of the West Coast Conference, where they lost. Sears rims it home.
To the basket, didn't delay that trip.
Saxon has had to work awfully hard. 13 points tonight. Sears just keeps on coming. But what a leader, what a player he's become. They've had some really good point guards over the years. He could be one of the very best.
Yeah, Randy is hoping that he can step it up.
Sears.
90 plus, 17 different games, and they also went over the 100 mark 8 times.
This is Darion Reed, who's just checked into the game now for Nate Oates. Sears, the All-American, just named a couple of days ago, and gets the...
If you can deflect it towards your end of the floor, sometimes it acts like it's almost a fast break pitch out, and off you go. Well done by Smith.
Phylon sets up Sears, corner 3. Bound for Garris.
They got up that open shot because Sears had his back turned to the ball as he comes down the floor and makes up for it.
Sears first round near upset. Remember, they almost knocked off Villanova in that tournament. Nova that year was the 2 seed. Lost that game in overtime. Andy Toole was an assistant on Mike Rice's staff. Young blood to kick to Sears as we hit the 6-minute mark. Sears inside, just too much. They're 15th in the game. Woods from deep. Robert Morris is 5 of 23 from 3. Sears taking contact. It's going to be the 4th.
He had 21 points, 4 assists yesterday in a 29-point win over Kentucky. Florida beat Missouri in the quarters to get here. Look at the pace by Sears.
Knock these guys out because Nelson had to put some pressure on Clayton. How are you going to get in front of Chinula?
As you mentioned, the Gators, one of the very best offensive rebounding teams in the country. The floater for Sears and the soft touch. And how about that rebound from Mark Sears?
That's what it's going to take. The guards have to get down and rebound as well.
Driving by Condon, floats it up, it will go. Sears.
Wow, he said, I can shoot right over you. The confidence of Bray, because he could have thrown it inside to a mismatch, just rose and fired. Aaron Stevenson into the game now for Alabama. As Sears goes reverse right hand, that is tremendous. Up and in. A good short roll by Carl to roll as a scorer. And a good find by Brea, who's 6'8", over the top of the double team. Sears stepped through, that's pretty, and so far, a high arcing 3 bottom. But Alabama, they're tracking another 100-point game against Kentucky this year. Sears logo 3, he got it. Oh, and they feel. And you see Alabama take those 15-footers. He just rammed into Sears, who ran through it. He's got Carr with him, and he blocked it. Humbled me, but also maybe get that fire back in my gut. And from that point on, he has been all-league everything. He goes to his right, flips it up with the left, and there's another example. Sears all the way, and Alabama has spun to the right, and it gets the little jump hook. It looks to the jungle and points over here. Good defense body by Pettiford on Holloway. Sears fires, that is down. You cannot. Room on the freshman. No good, no call.
Bumped right there, didn't throw it down.
Still going with it, pulls up, and he gets it to go, and he went on with the ball. Nados wants the last shot. You don't want one early to let Auburn have a chance to throw one in. Last week, Meshack won it for Tennessee. Is someone doing it today?
There he goes.
Sears! He just did it!
Not afford to do, Dave, is turn the ball over. They need to get a shot every time down.
Richards 3, not close. Alabama looks to run. Both teams love to get up and down the floor. Alabama has 8 games this year where it scored more than 100.
Elijah Martin guarding Mark Sears. He's got size and he's really tough.
Sears puts it in for the game.
Rather than giving up a 3, and you'll see both teams do that throughout the course of the game. They're very good at guarding the 3-point line.
Florida with 4 wins against ranked teams this year, including a victory at #1 Auburn. Alabama, Sears scores again.
Has Alabama into a half-court team. You know, take them out of transition, make them run half-court offense. Because Florida's got size, they rebound really effectively, and they can really bother this Alabama team when they get the ball into the lane.
Alabama's lost 3 of its last 5, including a buzzer beater at Tennessee over the weekend. Tough angle. Their second leading scorer.
He was out against Auburn, at Auburn, and still the Gators were able to win that game. Just a spectacular performance against the #1 team.
But you wonder if it's an extended period of time. Can they reach their goal of a championship if he's out?
Florida's done a pretty darn good job on the defensive glass, but another knockaway.
Bad turnovers in transition by Florida. Pull up 3. Sears hits. with Florida up 4. Clayton driving, goes to the right hand, missed the layup though, and Sears out of there with it.
Took some contact.
Sears blows by Houck. Great recovery though by Houck. They're going to count it though in
this game.
Yeah, blew a 4-point lead in the final 30 seconds. You mentioned that Sherrell's back on the bench. Don't see Elijah Martin yet on the bench for Florida. He went back to the locker room after that collision. Check that. He is back on the bench, we're being told. Now Sears gets a clear path to the basket.
In fast break points.
The lead is 12, the largest of the night. 7 straight and plus 14 fast break points. Sears.
Now that doesn't mean that a top team from another league isn't going to win the championship this year. It doesn't mean Houston isn't going to win it or Duke isn't going to win it. That's not what I'm saying. But
he's one of the top bench players in the conference.
Right now it's no fouls, no threes.
Sears will take it to the basket. Florida will give him that. So 4.1 as well. Florida making its free throws in crunch time. 6-point game. Got to hoist a 3 quickly. Instead, Sears drives. Surprised that Florida even challenged.
Big contact as Hubbard set a screen, then was open for a 3. And he doesn't appear to be on early. He's missed his first couple of attempts. Sears is wide open, and he will take that. He drains it back-to-back threes for the tie on both sides. He came back to try to win a national championship.
And Josh Hubbard with 2 fouls, and Chris Jans is trying to keep this game intact and getting back on the floor. You cannot dare him to shoot it. Melendez drives that ball. He has not made a 3-point shot this year. Melendez, like he's capable of, only 19%. Good to see him driving for points. But Alabama lost last year in Friday night at the SEC tournament. Got home for a couple days extra rest and found himself in the Final Four. Rest is critical.
What a play by Holloway, man. A dribbling leading squad.
National champs.
National
in
champs.
the co-ed traditional division. Alabama's cheer. You see them up here at the top of your screen in that right corner. National champions this year. Congrats to them, huh?
Absolutely. Holloway kicks it. Diabate, extra pass. Sears. Yes, Jimmy, they are.
Yeah, Holloway was hugged up on that weak side. Dancing with the guy he's assigned to. And that's not what you want defensively.
Nelson back to Sears. The blow-by of Murphy. That's a soft touch from Sears.
He is just a grind.
Yeah, nice play by Keyshawn Murphy.
He has given them a boost in conference play. Hadn't started one. He's their second leading scorer.
He's got a dozen tonight. Sears left open. He is so confident. Right?
Coach talked about the thing about playing Alabama. All 16 of their points so far have been scored within the first 10 seconds of the possession. Man, if you're Kentucky, you got to get that defense set.
Sears, high arc of man. He goes left.
2 tournaments.
Bad pass, turnover, Oweh, and he goes like a bull. Can't get it. Sears, Almanor. Good job by Youngblood to seal him.
His body to the baseline, cutting the defensive player off. Yeah. Utilized his body so effectively.
Double figures now for Perry. He's got 10. Sears beats Noah, and then he threw up an alley-oop. Nelson back in with 3. Sears finds the bottom. He did it, and he buried it.
Here's the problem, though. Sears makes a 3 and then gives up a 3 by going underneath on break.
Yeah, you got to go over the top of that screen. You can't go, especially up Brayer. You can't go beyond.
You can, but you give up a 3.
Sears with the right. He buried Noah. He's got 2 denied by Carr.
What was that?
Don't need it. Right there, you're leading by 9.
But he picked off the pass from Williams. And he will pull up and bury a 3.
Get offensive rebounds. They only had 7 against Auburn, and they didn't play well. They only had 9 in the loss against Ole Miss.
This is a charged up arena, and the All-American at Smart C
gets to a level you think you can play with anything.
It's a lot of that generated from the experience, the maturity, the veteran-type team this season.
And no doubt guys that came back that didn't win a game in SEC play last year. Guys like Tamar Bates, Caleb Greer was injured last year. And then you have the transfer period. Mark Mitchell and Tony Perkins have been huge.
Josh Gray into the game off the bench. You got 4 to shoot here for Alabama. That has been stifled on this side. Sears with half a second. Oh, he beats the time.
So what did Dennis Gates want to do? Stop him in the first 10 or 12 seconds when Alabama wants to score. Make them run offense. Make some of their guys that are drivers like Sears.
Games there. Comes back to his home state. Driving.
And people forget a 2-year starter.
Yeah. 17-point cushion for Missouri in a building that has been one of the best home court advantages in college basketball this year.
They've been able to get to the paint. They've been able to kick it out for shots or attack the rim, and that's from the backcourt.
There's Missouri at 8-4, 5th in the league. They're a couple of games behind Alabama and Auburn. Those are the 2 teams at the top of the SEC. And they've got one of them down nearly 20 in their building, which is arguably the toughest home court advantage in college basketball this year. Sears, wide open 3 just before the whole. Missouri defensively is looking like the Eagles front 4 a couple of weeks ago.
Defensive line looks pretty good.
Sears, wide open, 4-3. It's going through Oates' mind right now. 13:34 to go. His team down 15.
How do we quit turning it over? How do we make a stop or two and continue to shoot well on the
Sears
offensive end?
Knocks it down. Sears, aggressive and assertive attack. Puts it up and the teardrop falls. So Jacob Cruz in, outside and in.
Once a scorer, always a scorer.
Sears turns the corner. Got it! And the back. Seen Alabama do that to teams. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, no doubt.
Missouri set the tone with a 12-0 run to start the game. They were up 20 at one point in the first half. Sears launches, buckets to a 10-point lead. 90 seconds to go. Sears hounded by Perkins. Sears puts it in. Alabama, what do they do here? Byron lost the handle. So did Bates. Stevenson on it. Sears cashes in.
And the soft touch for him. He's got 8 already.
Cliff Amore trying to keep him away from that left hand. Did a good job. That fadeaway shot, that's a tough 2. Got to give him credit.
Sears with a burst of speed, and he draws a foul. Mark Sears 1 for 5 in the early going of this one. Drives on Baker Mazzara, draws the foul, and it goes. Second half, and Alabama is as close as they've been in a long while.
A horn set right now for Alabama. 2 up top, 2 in the corners wide.
Sears. Yes!
Scores.
The lead back to 5 for Auburn. Sears is open and hits again.
Check the alertness and the readiness of players on game day when they're on the road. I found it fascinating, just the things they do, the tricks of the trade, the details that teams go into now for their players.
Mark Sears, he knocks down a 3 and all of a sudden.
And a big part of Alabama's success this year is how dadgum hard they play. And Nate Oates, you can talk about the 3-point shooting and all that.
Yeah.
Well, he's big on all those plays that don't make a stat sheet.
Sears, they've got now 14 points. 3 comes up short off the mark, and the offensive rebound goes to Sears. He will push, throw it up and in. That's the toughness of Sears. And Texas, as Jimmy had said at the beginning, with a win tonight, had their chances of getting in, according to ESPN, about 87%. It drops
at this level.
And it's going to be more trouble at the next level. He gets it. He's going to shoot it. Well, that's 2 open off of a 1-point.
Here's Janelle Davis for 3, and that one is way off. Somebody leave a door open. Hamadi Abate with the handoff. Sears right over the top of Brazil.
Perry feeling like there was contact on the way up.
Sears crosses over, gets to his strong hand, and used every bit of the rim. Only went 6 of 17 from deep. By the way, Mo Diabate with a foul a moment ago. Here's Sears, and he somehow snuck it by Knox. Hard screen, frees Sears, and he banks it in. Nothing, Arkansas run.
And Bama has 2 timeouts left, and Nate Oates is going to trust his guys to play through it.
Sears on Ibisic. He blocked his last attempt. Let him go again. This time didn't get a hand up.
Emery missed a shot, but stays after it. A huge putback for Georgia.
Nelson thought about it. Back to Sears. Oh, that's just a strong take. LeFew. Sears left open. Yes, sir.
There it is.
Godfrey. Left hand won't go. Well defended by Amori.
I'm Alabama. I'm going right back to Nelson.
Sears takes it all the way. Slashing to the cup. Had to have it. Bama had tied their largest lead of the game at 14 and was on a 7-0 run.
And that's an impressive drive there by Blue Cane. Taking on the shot blocker Amori and finishing over the top.
It's a Bama team that's won 4 in a row, including another top 25 win against Mississippi State as Sears flexing. Here comes Demery. Lawrence a corner 3. Sears. Back to him. Bang from downtown. To national prominence and bringing it to places that had not yet been.
Absolutely. A historical performance under Nate Oates' tenure. It's a program that's always had good players and good coaches, but hasn't been able to get over the hump.
Prior to his arrival,
I don't see him get back to who he is. You know, when you're a scorer, you have to continue to play the style of game that you play. There's things that you need to work on, obviously, to help the team, but his point production is big for Alabama.
Sears open, and he rattles in a deep one.
Down, used that pump fake and freed himself up.
Holloway open, missing. Sears gets the putback. Steal for Kugel. One-on-one is bumped. And good hustle by Amori to get it back for Alabama.
Kugel just have to turn on the jets, go all the way to the basket. Don't look back for the defender.
Sears leaned in. There's been a lively crowd from the opening tip. I'll encourage a couple stops here on this end. Nelson had it stripped by Matthews. Shot clock's at 3. Sears, does he recognize? Gets it up in time and beats the buzzer. Touch pass, Sears from the wing. That's good offensive game.
So important, Alabama with the advantage on that last possession.
Sears directing traffic now. He's telling Youngblood and Diabate to switch sides. Shot clock's at 5. Pull up, jumper, mid-range, and three-point shooter. That's Nickel. They get a new 20. Nickel rejected by Filine. The rookie sends it back.
A little taste of the freshman's ability to rise up top with the rejection.
So Philon perhaps feeling it, has it here. Alabama down 3 early minutes, so what could be a very fun battle against Vandy. Count the basket and the...
Bate is that player for Alabama. When you play games that can teams play a slower pace, that can play a lot more physical, Nate Oates knows they can put him in the game and make a difference.
How about that? the offense. And a quick 6-0 burst now for Vandy. Back in it, 7-point game with 8:40 to go.
Both of these teams have spurt ability when it comes to their ability to score in quick bunches.
Nickel trying to handle Stevenson that time. Baseline drive, bounce pass to Stevenson. Deflected and nearly taken away by Vandy. Now it's the All-American. Sears steps through.
That's a big.
Tanner in the paint, goes up with the right. That one falls through.
Strong move by the freshman, taking on a much more mature Mark Sears. Beautiful spin move and balance to finish over the top.
Yeah, the rookie from right outside of Nashville. He has earned his place on the floor in the final minutes of games. That's how much this staff trusts the freshman. Sears to the paint. That's good. Mark Sears.
The drive to the basket is fool's gold.
Tipped around. Alabama has it. 1:40 to play. And a 14-point advantage. Holloway wants to use some clock. And they are in a comfortable position right now with 90 seconds left. Sears to the rack. Yes! It's a 20.
A basket bigger than the lane. At 49 points his last 2 games. Misses this 3. And Mark Pope likes threes just as much as Nate Oates does. He wants his team to shoot 35 a game. Mark Sears very hard, but Brea still gets the bucket.
Well, it's a great shot by Kobe Brea, but the good news for Alabama, they got him off the three-point line, made him take a tough 2.
Sears driving on Perry, the lefty with the scoop.
They're going to drive Perry every hour. Then they took away your opportunity to get a 3 off that rebound.
And had a second crack at it, missed the front end again. And finally a 3. It is Sears. These are 2 teams who willingly share the basketball. Stevenson almost had it ripped away by Butler. Now Sears up and in.
That's the Brunson quality of this 5 out is tough to contain.
Boy, wide open in the corner is Perry. Can't make it.
Anybody that's being guarded by Perry has to look to drive the ball.
Perry made a couple of threes against A&M midweek when he was giving Butler a breather. Sears will knock one down. Oh, he's putting together a big afternoon, up to 18 right now.
Well, Kentucky's done a good job of not fouling Mark Sears, but boy, you go under any screen.
Install his program on both ends of the floor. He's had similar identities in terms of tempo, but he's had elite defensive teams. He's had elite offensive teams. This one's kind of a mix of both. A near walk. Here's Sears. There's a weapon. Mark Sears. Injury and preseason practice cost him a couple of games. Off the baseline out of bounds. Morrell couldn't find a home.
They've got him 3 really good looks on those baseline out of bounds plays. Just 1 of 3 though.
Sears stepped through.
First bucket it right now with the 3 guards on the floor together. The concern is the offensive rebounding on the other end of the floor for Texas A&M, but right now looking to find the shots from beyond the arc.
Sears on target. The left got it. That's a triple.
And Wilcher is a hired gun. You know what he's going to do when he gets on the floor. He's looking to get the threes up.
35-32. Sears looking to penetrate all the way through. Nobody picked him up. Bama, meanwhile, 7 of 12 at the stripe, and they have the basketball. Phylon gets it back off for Sears. Sears on the dribble with a quick step. Holloway backing outside the 3. They got to chase him back to the logo with his range. Phylon on the baseline. They deny him. 5 to shoot for Alabama. Sears took a peek at it, bullying his way in, flips it up and in for 2.
How about that? And just getting much from any of their teammates on the offensive end thus far.
Sears gets a look, fires, drains a triple.
But you have to run him off the
Sears pulls up at the foul line. Phylon, too strong.
But another offensive rebound.
Sears again. Yes, nothing but net as he swishes. Tide, grabbing momentum.
Reed airborne, and it rolls off the iron. Big fight for the rebound.
Another offensive rebound. It's broken record time when you start talking about 21 offensive rebounds for the Crimson Tide.
The lay-in by Sears. They was tapped in.
And another offensive rebound.
Stevenson back to Sears. In and out with a three.
And another offensive rebound.
Sears again. Makes this one from three-point distance.
Punching first, not back on their heels, but this all started with South Carolina defensively, being up in the jersey, going under screens, knowing the details. Look at the bigs out there showing, Dave.
5 on. Backing down to Kobe Wright. Now Nelson gets a mismatch underneath, and the pass. A little bit too hot to handle, in and out, and goes through. Well, that rattled in.
He's right here. The guard's able to turn the corner without a big man showing. That's a problem. I don't know if that's the way they're playing, a drop coverage right now, but we will see if they adjust.
Mark Sears, little scoop shot off the window in front of about a rebound. And boy, if they can get that from Colin Murray-Boyles, they'll be in fine shape.
Yeah, there it is right there. He's going to get plenty of those opportunities. Got to continue to go up and finish at some point. And he'll be going to the line to create an and one as well.
Nelson, Yabate behind the back. Good defense from
very good defense.
The man they call CMB. But what do you do with that?
Wanted to get out.
Here's Sears. Nice job.
Great.
Forcing him to pick up his dribble. Ball fell right into Amori's hands. Kicks it back to Sears. Boy, had a shot, but now takes it inside. Little floater, teardrop works.
Man, patience, man. Patience. Good pass.
Youngblood can't get it to go down. Another opportunity. Deep three from Sears. He rips the net. Timeout, South Carolina.
Stevenson can either handle the ball, so it's trouble for you.
Stevenson fakes the screen off to Sears, left open. That's trouble. That is trouble.
Mark, can you see that competitive spirit from him? You've gotten an answer. You've been able to play defense and play aggressive. Just can't get the ball to fall in the hole.
Sears guarded by Jacoby Wright. Boy, I don't know how much.
Generating some points for his team by throwing the ball into the paint and getting some post-ups against smaller players.
Watch the Oklahoma shoot-around today. The focus was Alabama is elite in the first 6 to 10 seconds of the shot clock. Make them play in the half-court offense. But Sears can
might take a little bit of something to get the juice going to get you back into the game.
Banging, and it's Nelson with the offensive rebound. Sears just too strong. Damn. And that is his first field goal of the game. Comes here almost midway into the second half.
And it was a tough shot. You know, a high degree of difficulty. And there's the veteran taking it to the rookie. Chance to compete against multiple play styles. Defense is something that can travel. And you have to be able to rebound in the paint. So when you have that level of physicality, it's important.
Hello, Euro. Mark Sears.
Holloway. Catcher leads three, wouldn't go. An offensive board by Diabate. Mark Sears.
And that's against Osterkluft. You have to make sure you don't let them catch the ball so easily and make it difficult.
Diabate, another offensive rebound for Alabama to a wide open Sears, and another three-pointer by Mark. Clough versus Cliff. Works it back outside. And there's Amori with the rebound. Mark Sears finds his spot. He's in double
volume. They want to look at how many shots do they get, how many minutes do you get. What's more important as a player is what you do with the minutes and the shots that you get while you're on the court.
Mark Sears making the most of his time. He's Amori with the takeaway.
Good pressure there by Clifford Amori.
Mark Sears keeps shooting.
situation for the Golden Flashes. Inside, rejected by Nelson. Swatted that one clean.
It was a good job by Phylon. It wasn't there. Probe, and then see if you can find your...
Defensively.
How about Reed getting the start?
The second half,
my goodness.
Oh, Morey wipes that one clean. Sears on the attack.
Between defenders, finishes off the rim. He's fearless in the way he can attack.
What do you think a guy like Sears, again, kind of undersized, what does he have to do to make it at the next level?
Guard the ball.
Yeah.
He has to have a more...
Sitting on or approaching 10 wins.
When we talked to Rob Senderoff yesterday, don't you think he had a healthy attitude about playing this game? And he talked about, and we mentioned this in the first half, he didn't want his team to be scared.
Right.
I don't sense that they were scared
Not
today.
at all.
They just didn't make shots.
The 6'7" junior from Texas in his first year with the program after a couple of seasons at Tyler Junior College, showing off his range. Biggest lead of the night now for North Dakota, 16-10. Sears, acrobatic finish at the rim. Off two defenders and put the jam down. That's new. 6 points now for Nelson. 3 of 4 shooting, a couple of blocks, a couple of boards as well. Here comes the side now, down by just 3. Make it 1 as Sears hits the float.
Played Purdue, Illinois, Houston, Rutgers, and lost by 2 to Oregon out in Vegas.
It is likely it'll be the 3rd year in a row they will have the toughest schedule in the nation as Sears drops in the 3. 10 to shoot. Eagle staff on the drive. Nelson got a touch. Crowd wanted a goaltend. We will play on. Sears in transition. He'll fire the 3. The grad student point guard. Grant Nelson able to get the offensive rebounds after Phylon made 1 of 2. The long 3 drops. Marks as well. Darius Woodson trying to get going here in the second half. In and out this time. Sears coast to coast. And this Cinderella story continues with 2:45 to go. Sears driving left. Unstoppable. Nate Oates.
They love to shoot it from behind the arc. Kalkbrenner, jump hook. That one is halfway down and popped out. Sears has had some inconsistencies early on and ankle in the preseason. Neal coughs it up. Scooped up by Aiden Holloway. And here's Youngblood with his first touch. He is an elite scorer. Sears reverses. What a play. Remember his dad, Mike, NBA champion, 2001 Rookie of the Year. Played his college basketball in the SEC at Florida. Ball fake, good ball movement. Sears all alone. Got it. Had an 11-0 run in there to build a 17-point lead. Bama has the ball to start the second half. Let's see what Nate Oates drew up. A screen for Sears, and he buries a 3. So, Kalkbrenner doesn't get a touch really in scoring position, and late in the clock, Neal's 3 is short.
They not only don't want Kalkbrenner to shoot it down low, they don't want him to touch it. Their offense is so much better when he gets a touch.
Ashworth with the bumps.
And much rhythm for Alabama's offense, and despite not making threes, you can't forget how important this game is for both teams. I mean, if Alabama wants to continue to try to get a 1 seed, you got to defend home court against a great team like Creighton. And for Creighton, I mean, this could be, if you were looking to be a 6 maybe come March, this could become a 5-4 if you win one on the...
Nate Oates has so many weapons available to him on the offensive end, including this guy. And Sears...
But he can pass out of it. He draws so much attention, you'll have shooters open.
Nelson went high-low last time. Sears steps into a 3. That is a great...
Way back in his first year, but the emphasis on the stats that really matter and all the good information. And Nate Oates has done a wonderful job for the Crimson Tide.
Threes, layups, and free throws.
Sounds like the NBA. Sears inside, off the glass, and good. Elliott Cadeau handling, hesitates, and left hand a little too strong. Sears unimpeded right to the rim. Jay Davis so far this season just 27% from three, but preseason ACC Player of the Year and preseason first team All-America. Sears into the paint, scoops it in. Hubert Davis talks about getting a text every night at the end of the day from Ian Jackson, and he simply texts Coach Davis. And Hubert responds, "What's up?" And he says, "How can I improve my
basis?" He's going to have to find ways to get into those gaps and get some easy ones. We talked last year about the sides of Alabama defending him. They're going to try to blow up screens on side pick and rolls, and they're going to switch. You saw Sherrill guarding him before. Can't settle for long shots over that length.
Rookie of the year. So again, you're looking at one of the premier talents in college basketball. But again, still learning, right?
Well, I think they have, I said it earlier, I think they have the most talent and the most depth out of
Moving left hand is good.
And this has been dominance by the SEC.
Well, they're going to improve to 10-1 in this challenge.
And Duke is a good basketball team, but I do believe that Auburn is playing the best basketball in the country. They have the talent, they have the depth, and they have the experience, most importantly.
I beg your pardon, it'll be 11-1 as Florida beat Virginia. There's
great size, great skill on the interior, and Morey comes over to help. No one helps the helper.
Here's Nelson. He's a major offensive weapon. This time he tees up Sears. Sears with Shelstad. They clear it out. Shelstad got some room inside to work. No, Sears with a block. One-on-one D, the fabulous point guards. And now Sears drives it, lays it in to a strong hand.
And it's funny, Dana Altman.
Sears guarding Bamba. Bamba, three-pointer. No. Shot selection, Dana Altman, you can tell, did not like that one from Bamba. Sears penetrates. Sears got it to go. And one. Alabama Knights the lead here. Alabama with a 9-0 run and jumped out ahead. Rutgers has answered it. Sears guarded by Williams. Williams with those 2 early fouls. Here's Hayes picking him up now. Sears just goes to work. Not many can in the college game.
He is a shot maker. He can take tough shots and shoots them with ease.
Sears driving on Hayes. Got it. Tough layup by Martin.
You know, and the paint touches, as you talked about, leading to open three opportunities. Nate Oates' style of basketball.
Again, Sears in the paint, backs it out. Sears, good three-point shooter. Wide open, rips the corbs, and somehow scores. Wow, how did Durkot get that off? Sears drives it right back at him, aggressive, and he lays. Not many 6'10 guys can move like that. Durkot going in for the hammer, he missed it. Push it up ahead. Sears pulls it back for a transition three. Marks will join him. Steve Peichel and Rutgers, or Nate Oates in Alabama. And Alabama with a takeaway. 3-point game. Alabama with a lead. Sears cashes in another three.
Attack mode by that young man.
Mark Sears at the controls. Gets a step on Durkak and lays it in. Malik Wilson guarded by Sears. Wilson, quick pull-up. Missed it. Looked like he lost the grip on his way up. Sears now steps into a three. The lefty knocks it down. And that, and how much you like it. Again, putting a taller player on Pryor, and he's missed 2 threes with size on him. Good catch there, Grant. Here comes Bama. Sears, little sidestep. Got off the ground. Now he resets for three. The lefty sticks it. 2-possession game, under a minute to go. Sears, three-pointer, down! Mark Sears! Always pretty. Roberts turning the corner. Active hands there by Holloway and forces the turnover. Here's Diabate now. Patient. Sears playing 4-on-4. Now Reitzel gives it up. Sears wide open. Three-pointer is good. Mark Sears
now with a couple of free throws. See if Alabama can get their distance game going, still looking for that first three. Sears gets the bounce.
Boy, Bama goes back to this
from three. Just hit his first. Straight up that time.
Good contest. You had Morey up, and then that defender there getting just right back in that picture with Braden Smith.
Sears with 35 in this matchup last year. Now he has 2 buckets here tonight.
Morey's a different beast, and all you got to do is get it on the rim. Alabama really aggressive at trying to block that shot.
And there's a block from Morey. Sears finds the glass.
You got to stop the basketball.
Tied for the 5th time here. Kaufman-Wren has 15, best in the game.
Boy, the Amori factor down there. Kaufman-Wren is just not comfortable.
Reitzel, Philon, back to Reitzel. Sears from way downtown, got it.
Boy, he shoots it. With the team in the country goes on a run like that, and man, they just came out and delivered the last 7 minutes of this game.
Lead back up to 10. Sears.
In slow motion as he gathered. Garcia comes to a jump stop. His fires, and Sherrell scoops it up. So here's Mark Sears. Hasn't taken a shot yet. Reitzel gets one man of the air. Couple of dribbles. Sears, a deep one, cashes in.
How you like that? Kept that win over Arkansas because of their zone defense as well.
Richards offline. This is Reed. Quickly pushes ahead to Stevenson, and this is in Sears' range.
Bingo. Now.
And this McNeese program last year. Turnover. That was Diabate. Read that pass. Diabate pushing in transition.
Nice decision. Get the last shot. Up 9 points. Try to extend it to potentially 11 or 12.
Sears has only taken 2 shots. He's made them both. A couple of triples. 5 to play. Sears on the attack. Sears goes up with the left. Got it to go. And so Alabama flips it there for Alabama in the offseason. Nice floater that time from McNeese. Reitzel has hit a couple of triples here right out of the gate to start the second. Sears, yeah! Mark Sears, enough.
Forward from the logo. Won't go. Stevenson hangs on to the rebound for Alabama.
Good job in defensive transition that time by Arkansas State, getting back, stopping the fast break opportunity.
Mark Sears to the rim. The rebound. Mark Sears. Perkins.
They come off that screen.
Julian Dubertu now leading the way with 11 points for Arkansas State. 8-0 run for the Red Wolves. Here's the time trying to find some offense. Mark Sears will do just that.
Really good job. Baskets in transition to get the game open.
5-point Crimson Tide lead. Sears makes it 7.
That one's in and out. Rebound to Reed.
Reed is a player that the coaching staff rave about his intensity. As Mark Sears.
Right after that Reitzel shot, I looked over at Nate Oates, and he turned around and was yelling at somebody on the bench like, come on, know where the line is.
That's a no-no around here. A long two, can't let that happen.
Sears in traffic, throws it up.
That's Mark Sears.
Bulldogs 3 of 11 from behind the arc here in the first half. 4 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Alabama's played 10 players here in the first half, and all 10 have scored. Sears will lead those 10 players.
Now for UNC Asheville, they've done some really good things. It's just a matter of weathering the storm. They had a good opportunity early in the game. They let Alabama get up early, 9-0 run. But then in the last free throw line, and 50 from 2 and lead his team to a Final Four, and you don't get to hear your name called in the first few picks. But nonetheless, I think he's got an opportunity to come back out this year with an even more talented team to show what he can continue to do offensively and the all-around package.
As to a staff that featured Shaka Smart on the bench, along with Mike Morrell on that group.
A really good coaching tree. And you see a lot of the similarities of style with the up-tempo game, getting into the fast break, switching defenses. It's a really good team.